Hey, it's Brian Late back with some news on fitness. So one of the things that people ask me, hey, I'm over 40, I'm 50. What kind of fitness should I be doing? Now for men, it's been, the more and more research is showing that strength training is actually for men and women, because anything, you get too much cardio type stuff, your cortisol goes up, and it's a lot of other things. But I found this article interesting. This image has a thing there. This is from wired.com. This doesn't look like a 40-year-old, and this guy looks really, really skinny and like he can't run worth a crap. But an aging marathoner tries to run fast after 40. Now, we'll find out what fast means. It's usually relative to something. And hopefully, I haven't read this article, so I don't know how long it is. The equipment is simple. Shoe, socks, okay. The activity is natural. Once right after antelopes on the savannah, and now maybe some people still do. Over the past, we compete against ourselves. Okay. Again, aging reduces our performance, of course. Testosterone drops. Things the body doesn't repair as well. The ball doesn't seem to go far. Excuses there are. The back starts to ache a bit, but the more complex a sport is, the more confounding factors or excuses there are. In running, the evidence is right there. We ran the same distance and we went slower. We took 10 minutes, now it takes 11. What takes 3 hours now takes 3.5. I don't know what took 10 minutes. That'd be nice to know. Evidence of the damage that done to our body shows up implacably. I don't know what that word means. On our watches, it also shows up in aches and pains. I've been running for decades. Of course, I'm just going to, we're going to jump over because this is a long article. You can see in the scroll bar over to the right off screen. That's going to take forever. There's, of course, a magic stage to get worse. Most of them, that's actually in the mid-20s, but that's okay. Recreational run on the other hand, may slow more slowly. Science, because you weren't very fast to begin with, and so even if it's if it's the same percentage, the number is going to be smaller. There may be 27 for women. Recorded in the marathon set by Eliud Kipchoge, age 33. A study of marathoners in Stoke-on-Peg that declined to 34. I'm quick, but nowhere near elite. I ran well in high school and then badly in college. I bailed at 18 and really didn't start again for a decade. I ran 2 hours. That's pretty good. For a marathon, that's pretty good. And for the next years, about 2 forces experience. Okay, so then when I turned 39, I finally started slow. Each marathon got worse. Last year, 42. A little better than the year before, but the trend line did not look good. Well, of course, a fuzzy goal of 2 hours plus my age in minutes. And the barrier had been never quite broken. I would turn 43 in the summer, which meant I wanted to run a fall marathon in 2 hours, 43 minutes. That's what I was beginning to plan late. Okay, I got a conference call, 3 experts. Science there, Stephen Feenley, a big-hearted coach. I made Olympic trials in the steeplechase. Okay, I told them that I worked on the past and what the goals are. I wanted to go faster, but I didn't want to spend any more time on the sport. I think a link to my old, can be broken down into 3 of their body fitness. How fast can you, get oxygen and multiply by fitness running. As a person is, ages, these variables don't have to be another word. Elustably get worse. I guess this is big words to make it sound like he knows what he's talking about. As important, Kirby explained, this is just too dang long. For 13 years, my training routine was roughly the same. This goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I want to know, let's get to the cut to the chase. This is another young guy running, and my coaches wrote out plans for me every week. Google Doc. The second big change in my routine came from data. I long believed that any data beyond basic was a distraction. After running, I said, sync the Garmin. This is just ridiculous. I don't know why I'm bothered trying to read this article. It's just way too long. This is like a narrative. So now we have a shoe commercial in the middle of it. Running systems break down over years. It's like, we know that. Everything goes down really the most. All right, so we have more runners running, because what else would they be doing? I guess it's raining wherever they are. I don't know why they have their hands up. It goes blessedly flat, but the forecast didn't look particularly as race approached. I advise that I run the first half at around 1 hour, 19 minutes. Sometimes the best thing about external validation is that it allows for internal validation. That put me on pace. So I guess he did run faster. So he did it. 2 hours, 38 minutes. And it's also, I wonder, if they could have looked at his running style. That's also very important. Many times people do not run efficiently. And that lack of efficiency as you get older also drains you of energy. So I'm glad that the short of it is that he found a way. So through science, I mean, that's basically what we have here. It's a very long-winded article to say, hey, I reached out to people that you can't reach out to, and we did an experimentation. They probably got him better oxygen. They definitely looked at the mechanics of his running here. I'm not sure why these people are trying to hold him up, I guess, in case he falls. Just let him fly off the end of it. I imagine if I called these people, I couldn't get this kind of attention. But hey, if I wrote for Wired.com, maybe. Because I know some people in their 40s that got into running mini marathons and marathons, and then they hit by mid 40s, they were like, yeah, we're done. And now the smarter ones are getting strength training, which is what I told them to do in the first place. So, and one of the things that people do, especially running downhill, is they come down too hard on the heel. They put the foot. So this guy where he has his foot is good. You don't want it behind you. And that's kind of like running with the brake on. And that will deter you. That'll drain you of energy. When you're 24, 25, 26, it's not so bad. But you get in your mid-30s, it's a big difference. And it really drains you of strength, speed, and everything else faster than you would realize. So anyway. And no comments. Well, there you go. So, hey, you can run faster through science, and you get fancy shoes and all that other stuff, and, efficient running style. So that tells me one thing. If had he had an efficient running style to begin with, this probably wouldn't have been as big a problem. But the fact that he ran well in high school and then didn't in college, he probably didn't have a good coach who could correct him, and then he just kind of put it down. Put it down at 18. So it must have been his first semester. I don't know. All right. Thanks for stopping by in the fitness corner here. This is why I stick with strength training. I used to run 3 miles a day when I was in high school. I don't know if I could run a mile anymore, but anyway, so it just depends what your goals are. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for clicking like. Thanks for sharing. I'm sorry I should have looked at this article to see how long it was before I did all this nonsense, because I just feel, I'm skimming it, but I don't want to sit here and read for the next 10 minutes. When I can just, I know I'm Eddie Canty on it, but so what? All right. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.